In life, our greatest mistakes do not always come from the wrong choices we make. More often, they come from the moments we fail to see clearly, from not appreciating what is already quietly holding us together, from postponing happiness, telling ourselves it will come someday, once something more is added. Today's story is meant to slow you down. It is meant to make you pause and look inward, because this is not just a story about wealth or desire. It is a story about the human mind and how a single thought can turn peace into restlessness without making a sound. Long ago, in a prosperous kingdom surrounded by fertile land and calm rivers, there lived a wise ruler known for his curiosity about people. One morning, seeking fresh air and honest conversation, the ruler decided to walk beyond the palace walls with his trusted advisor, a sharp-minded man known for his quiet wisdom and careful words. Together, they left the guarded streets behind and walked into the countryside, where life moved at a slower, simpler pace. As they walked along a narrow path, they came upon a modest farmhouse. The house was small, built of old stone and weathered wood, yet it felt alive. Outside, a farmer, his wife, and their young child were laughing together. They were dancing clumsily in the open yard, clapping their hands, sharing jokes, and celebrating nothing in particular. There was no music, no feast, no grand reason, just togetherness, just joy. The ruler slowed his steps. He watched their faces carefully. There was no trace of worry in their laughter, no shadow of fear in their movements. They looked lighter than many nobles he had seen at royal banquets. Turning to his advisor, the ruler spoke softly, almost to himself. He wondered how it was possible that people with so little could seem so full, while those with everything often felt empty. The advisor smiled gently, as if he had been waiting for that question for many years. He said that the family was happy because they were not members of what he called the 99 Circle. The ruler raised an eyebrow, intrigued. He asked what this circle was and why it mattered. The advisor replied calmly that if the ruler truly wished to understand, he would need a little trust and a little patience. He asked for a pouch filled with 99 gold coins and half a year of time. The ruler, amused and curious, agreed without hesitation. He ordered the coins to be brought at once and placed them into the advisor's hands. That very night, while the farmhouse slept in silence, the advisor walked alone through the fields. He placed the heavy pouch quietly at the doorstep of the farmer's home and disappeared into the darkness without leaving a mark or a message. At dawn, the farmer stepped outside as usual to begin his work. His foot struck something solid. Looking down, he saw the pouch. When he opened it, his breath caught in his chest. Gold coins gleamed in the early light. He shouted in disbelief, calling his wife and child. Together, they sat on the ground and counted the coins carefully. Once, twice, then again, afraid their eyes might be lying to them. Each time, the count was the same: 99 coins. At first, excitement filled the air. But slowly, a strange thought crept into the farmer's mind. Why would anyone leave 99 coins? Why not make it a full 100? The joy on his face faded slightly, replaced by confusion. That question echoed in his thoughts long after his family returned inside. By nightfall, the question had become a decision. The farmer told himself that he would work harder than ever before. He would save every extra coin. He would earn that missing one and complete the set. Only then, he believed, would everything feel right. Days turned into weeks. The farmer woke earlier and returned home later. His hands grew rougher. His temper grew shorter. Each evening he counted the coins, guarding them closely. When his wife used a few coins for food and necessities, he grew upset. When his child touched the pouch out of curiosity, he snapped in anger. Laughter slowly disappeared from the farmhouse. Conversations became arguments. Shared meals became silent. The joy that once filled the yard was replaced by tension that hung in the air like a storm waiting to break. The farmer blamed his family for standing between him and that final coin, never noticing how far he had already drifted from what once made him rich. Half a year passed. One morning, the ruler returned to the same path with his advisor. As they approached the farmhouse, the scene had changed. Voices were raised. The farmer and his wife stood apart, faces tight with frustration. The child sat alone, watching silently. The ruler felt a heaviness in his chest. He turned to the advisor and asked what had happened. The advisor spoke softly. He explained that the farmer had entered the 99 circle, a place where people own much, yet focus only on what is missing. A place where gratitude fades and desire takes its place. The ruler finally understood. The farmer had not become poor. He had become restless. The advisor looked toward the farmhouse and said that happiness is not destroyed by lack, but by the constant hunger for just one more. When gratitude is replaced by comparison, peace quietly leaves. Wealth turns into worry. Ambition turns into obsession. Love turns into conflict. True contentment, he explained, does not arrive with a perfect number. It lives in the ability to appreciate what is already present. Unused blessings are wasted blessings. What we delay enjoying today may never return tomorrow. Before they left, the advisor offered a simple practice for the ruler, one meant for any person listening to this story. He suggested that each day we pause for a short moment and name what is already whole in our lives, not what is missing, not what is coming, just what is here. Even a few seconds of gratitude can interrupt the restless chase. The ruler nodded, deeply moved. As they walked away, he carried a new understanding with him, one that felt heavier than gold, yet lighter than worry. Missing one steals all joy. Remember this, missing one steals all joy. If this story touched you, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe, and carry this lesson with you into your day.